Welcome back everyone, I'm Marcus and welcome to the finale of Mega Man 4. You're starting right now with the Wily stage number 1 because yeah, big shocking surprise to most of you I know, but the main bad guy was not Dr. Cossack, it was Dr. Wily. Cossack was just blackmailed into doing whatever Dr. Wily wanted to do. And yeah, so right now, business as usual it seems, and we are just going through the pace and clearing this this castle. And honestly, of all the castles, this is probably one of the easiest. I feel the stages of Dr. Cossack were a bit harder. This stage is just chock full of med tools, so try to imagine what the boss is going to be of this area. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame that they just dumped Dr. Wily right at the end like this. I feel they had the intention of trying another villain, but at the same time, tradition, expectation, the Dr. Wily was meant to be there. Damn it! Apparently the sprite of Bushmarine is a tad too big for that section, so yeah, avoid using it right there. And please Capcom, stop putting your fucking spikes right at the bottom of the screen, like that. Like, I didn't fall for it once during this playthrough, thank God, but it's a very dick move to pull off, just to be funny, I guess. But yeah, like I was saying, it was I would love to see some new characters, some new doctors be introduced. Of course, it's an NES game, so it's not like we can exactly hope for something a bit more nuanced, the best the NES could offer in terms of storytelling. In terms of platform games and storytelling, because of course there are RPGs in the 8-bit era that actually try to have a story and did a nice job with it. Like, for the best two examples that came to mind are Phantasy Star and Final Fantasy II. Yes, that Final Fantasy II, I'm not talking about 4, I'm talking about the original 2. But yeah, outside of that all can of worms, the only game that actually tried a lot in terms of narrative on the NES with platformers was probably Ninja Gaiden, which with all these all the cutscenes they had, and Ninja Gaiden was freaking amazing. Honestly, it's a shame that that series didn't actually continue on the SNES, because I would have been curious to see what they were able to achieve with the means of the 16-bit era. But yeah, sometimes I wish I just had the manuals of these very old games. Oh, look at that! The boss is a giant med tool, to the surprise of no one. Yeah, this boss is incredibly easy. It's a med tool, it just jumps around. You hit them with the with Ringman's weapon and just gonna keep shooting him. You have to be careful of the other med tools, he's going to drop from the ceilings, but other than that... Oh, and the ground shakes when it hits the ground. The ground shakes when it hits the ground. Yeah, good. By the way, be in the air before it hits the ground, otherwise you'll be stunned and potentially might end up hit by the other med tools. But as you can see, rather easy boss right here. And the first stage is over, but as you can see in a minute, we have a lot of road to do. This game is weirdly slow at times. I don't know why. Even when he charges the life bars, it seems as if it's taking forever. Probably this was a very straining game for the NES. I would cry foul about this trap, but honestly you have more than enough time to change direction with the doing the slide, so you shouldn't be find yourself getting hit by those ladybugs right there. It's funny, I thought about how this game doesn't really give you all that many E-tags, but it feels like they are a bit preoccupied of you actually getting it through to the final section of the game without any life reveal at this point. Come here, Eddie! Oh, well, just an energy ball. I repeat that with Eddie, if you just wanted out the different item, just exit and re-enter the screen, and you will be golden. It might take a lot of time depending on RNG, but hey, if you want a free an extra life or a free E-tank, it's really useful. Now we have some more of these freaking skeleton people. I was saying earlier, I wish I had the actual manual of these games, because at least in them sometimes they actually tried telling more of the story and fleshing out some of the characters' intentions and all that. Today you just go and look at a fan wiki. If a fan wiki is well curated, they had everything you can ever ask for, but back in the day, this was not the only way of you to try and make sense of what was happening without having to use your imagination. And I have to mention probably the another issue is that probably it's the Japanese manual which is the most accurate, because when it came to the West they did weird modifications and all that. I remember like the US manual for the first Megaman game, they talked about a city called Monsteropolis, whatever. It's very damn weird. I don't know why they kept making shit up as they went along when it came to localizing stuff back then. And now we have this annoying as hell boss. It has no real weakness. The best weapon to use here it's the Mega Buster, and even then it takes a bit of a while, because you have to hit that green light on his forehead, but the hitbox at times is weirdly precise. Like, sometimes I'm sure that if I'm shooting a normal pellet, I've been able to hit it. Other times, when I go with the charge shot, it just goes through, and I don't really understand where the hell is the point that you are supposed to hit. It doesn't help that I keep getting bomb rushed by all that stuff. I'm doing a very piss poor job at avoiding shit. But yeah, this is the fight. Just try and have a better aim than me. Oh my god, this is very piss poor performance on my part. Come on, please. And you can see that I'm getting impatient because I'm just switching to the nearest platform in hope of actually shooting faster. And be careful of the flame because it does a lot more damage than the other ball that shoots from upwards. And yeah, I used to rewind because I was so done with this boss I didn't want to do it another time. I apologize to everyone because I'm just using all these freaking shortcuts, but you know what? You do what you need to do sometimes. I think it's also a testament. Do not feel bad about using all these cheat codes and all that is in the other collections, because like we can rant and rave all the time about how we did this the fair way when we were kids, but you know what? Who really cares? Really, if someone has a way of making things a bit easier for himself, then just go ahead and do it. And if someone is not really enjoying it at this point, might as well. Taking a shortcut doesn't make you better at something, I understand. But at the same time, these games are supposed to be recreation. Recreation is supposed to be just you having fun. And if you're finding the experience way too frustrating, at this point might as well. You make your own fun, and just because they skip the challenge once doesn't mean that they're gonna skip the challenge again the next time. But yeah, we arrived at the best part in any Mega Man game, the boss rush. And as always, we are gonna blast through all of them. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Yeah, this boss rush is also a bit annoying because some of these fights can be legit tough. Go ahead and dive, man. And poor Pharaoh, man. And we are done with the boss rush. At this point, I really think it's one of those traditions that should be just avoided at some point. Hello, Wily Machine. Now, this Wily Machine, it has two phases. The first phase, you have to use the Mega Buster, and it's very easy to avoid this shot. Just stay very close to his mouth. None of these shots will ever hit you. I don't know if they did this is on purpose or they just plain didn't notice there was a gigantic safe spot for you, but yeah. This is just the appetizer. The worst part comes here. Now, you have to use the Drillman's weapon, and as you can see, the weapon will bounce away. The thing about Drillman, if you press the attack button while the bullet is traveling, you basically detonate the bullet. And that detonation has to hit the blue sphere of the Wily Machine. The first time I did this boss, I just kept dying and didn't realize what the hell I was meant to do, because I didn't understand that there was a remote detonation with the Drillman's weapon. So yeah, it was kind of frustrating. But yeah, Wily went away once again after his machine was destroyed, so now we have the true final boss of this game. We don't have that much recovery items here, which yeah, if you came out here wasting a lot of energy, you are forced to farm these infinitely respawning worms, and yeah, might take a while depending on your luck. As you can see, it's not like the drop rate is much of anything. I am trying to let them drop something, but as you can see, I'm not having that much luck. And here we are with the first boss, the final boss, the first of the Wily capsules. And as you can see, we're in a very dark room. We only have a bit of a flash of light to see what is the position of Wily, and in the meantime to avoid that sphere that keeps going all over the place. Thankfully, Pheromone's weapon is very useful against him. It does take a lot of damage, so if you are careful, you should be able to do this easily. It's also the sphere as an active hitbox, so don't be afraid of just jumping under him and try to clip the sprite of your Pharaoh sphere with the Wily machine, because that will count. Yeah, there are situations like this where Wily will just spawn on top of you, which are annoying against this boss, but could be a lot worse. And with that, we have defeated Dr. Wily once again, and Mega Man 4 is done and done with. And Wily escapes the easiest way possible. This ending feels rushed beyond belief. At least in Mega Man 3 there was something. Also, this scene is weirdly quiet. It feels like there should be some music, but yeah, it's all silence. And at least we can enjoy the castle exploding. Wily and Megaman escapes. We have a giant skull cloud. I like that. And that was it. Megaman just jumps on a train and leaves. It seems like a regular day of the job for him. But yeah, Mega Man 4. This was a bit harder than I remembered, I have to say. It's probably one of the hardest of the NES games, and I like the introduction of the charge shot. This is a bit of a contentious weapon because many feels that having the charge shot basically renders the enemy weapons a bit useless, but I kinda like it. It's nice to have an option to do more damage when you run out of of weakness of an enemy and you just have to rely on the Mega Buster. Now you have something more to try and do a little bit of damage. And everything else, like, I like the level design, everything was a lot more refined here than it was in Mega Man 3. A lot of spikes and tricky jumps all over the place. This is surely one of the most challenging games on the NES, but honestly, I had fun. That run was a bit garbage in some aspects, but you know what? Still had a lot of fun. If I have to rank this game, I would say Mega Man 2 is still on top. Then we're gonna have 4. I think it's very nice. Then 3 and 1 is still at the bottom. Not to say that 1 is bad, but it really is the foundational game, and for a game to be that good and to be considered kinda of the worst, I think it's still a pretty big accolade, honestly. But yeah, here we have the roll call of all the Robot Masters. So this, for a while, for the rest of the year, we are pretty much done with Mega Man. I think 4 games per year are more than enough for the channel, so I gotta take a small break for the world of Mega Man before jumping into Mega Man 5, so that I can refresh my mind and jump into that game with a very clear set of expectations, because Mega Man 5 is really considered to be, by many, the most standard and boring game in the series, but honestly I never really kind of felt that. It's really weird. Like, I am discovering more of an appreciation for 4, 5, and 6 the more I play them. At the time, I didn't really enjoy 4 and 5 all that much, but now I see that 4 really is a much better game than some of these predecessors. The music has grown on me. I still don't really like the Robot Masters design, but the music has grown on me, and the levels are good, so yeah, I feel really this is a lot better than 3 and 1. And with 5, we'll see how it goes once I replay it, if I feel it's actually worse than this or better. We're gonna see. But as we used to say all the time, I am Markus. Thank you for following me with this game, and I'll see you all with the next game. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.